I believe that whenever I see a team leader that's going through a lot of team members, it's just typically because there's some aspect of the selection process that can be improved upon. And in many cases, the reason I use DISC, and you use that with your team leaders as well, is I always recommend using a DISC analysis on a team member to understand what their core values as a person is and what's important to them. So if we look at the D, the I, the S, and the C, the D is typically the team leader. I spoke at a
Yep.
conference with 1,000 team leaders, and like 890 of them, yeah, we're like the D, right? So the D, like now, if I'm a team leader and I meet you I meet Chuck, like when Chuck's a new agent, I'm just gonna be salivating because I'm gonna want you. I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna be great. He's gonna be like a superstar. Like I'm gonna love him because the D's come off that way when they're young.
Right.
But if I'm smart, then I'm gonna go, well, I got two choices here. I can probably get him, okay, and I'm gonna get him for a couple of years. He's gonna suck everything out of me that he can. I'm gonna suck everything out of him that I can. We will eventually part ways because in most cases he'll want his own team. And so I love D's and I'll take them for as long as I can get them. And I do know that when they spin off, when they say it's not personal, it's not. It feels personal, but it's not. The I personality, they're the playful ones. They love working with buyers. They would just be with buyers all the time, and they love the social aspect of the business. So if I've got an I personality that's having fun and they're making money, I'm less likely to lose the I over the D. Now they're not as organized and not as structured, but they'll still become great agents. 70% of our agents in the industry are the I personality. But now we jump to the S and the C. The S is what I call the stabilizer on the team. The S is organized, systematic, very loyal. They're the most loyal of all.
Yep.
So
Very empathetic.
yeah, so if I'm bringing the S onto the team, I got a person, if I treat them well, they'll be with me forever
Interesting.
because they don't need the recognition themselves. They don't need it to be about them. In fact, their joy comes from making it about me. So as a team leader, I have to first understand, what do I really want in the people I'm bringing onto my team? Do I want longevity? Do I want just instant fast production for 2 or 3 years? Do I want someone that's not going to be quite as organized, but they're playful and fun and everybody will like them and they'll probably stay with me as long as they're happy and making money? The C personality, very logical, very structured, has a great place on a team, when it comes to those systems and structure, accountability, maybe with a lot of team members. So I think understanding DISC as a team leader, as a broker, obviously I can't imagine running a team without it. But I think it's, I call it predictive analysis through predictive behavior. Like we know
Gotcha.
what that behavior is going to be, so I can kind of predict what's going to be the outcome. And when the person that asks the question says, "How can I get better feedback to know how I can improve?" Typically, you're not going to necessarily always get the truth, right? But if you're going through a lot of team members, there's definitely a problem there. Okay, so you have to have it analyzed. But sometimes after they've been gone a while, like if they, so they're already gone, to be able to say, "Hey, you know what, Chuck, you were that guy." I mean, I got to be honest with you. If I had a dozen Chucks, I'd still want a dozen Chucks. And I realized that you felt you want to go out and try the other team for a minute. But I want to attract people like you and I want to keep them long term. I
Yep.
wasn't able to keep you, Chuck. So I might just take you out to lunch or breakfast and say, how would I, like, what could I have done differently? Okay. But you have to let a little time go to where, keep the door open. A lot of times they're trying another company, another team because they think they want it. The grass always looks greener on the other side, but when they get there, it's just as tough to mow. So
Yep.
I always keep that door open. I keep that communication going. And then I say, would you help me in my business, Chuck? Like just have breakfast with me because I have some things because I'm trying to improve the way I run my team. Once they've been away for a while and then they come back, it's safer for them to say, well, the truth is this kind of irritated me.